find some of the largest obstacles to excellence. These take the form of denying reality and resisting trade-offs, points that may seem counterintuitive, or at least counter-comfortable. If you walked out on the street today and randomly asked someone to talk about a recent service experience, good or bad, chances are the person would recount a story of deep disappointment. We know this because we've personally developed a bad habit of invading strangers' personal space with questions like these. That story would probably involve a call center because, as we'll explain, call centers are designed to be reliably bad. But the story might just as easily be about wandering through department store aisles, looking for a clerk to ring up an $8 pair of socks, or waiting for a shipment of parts that came in hopelessly late and hopelessly incomplete, or going through endless cycles with a voice recognition unit. For what you don't want, push or say 4. Trying every numerical option in the hope of getting through to some sympathetic soul who has an incentive to care that your son's talking Elmo won't say a word. And yet, we should be living through the century of service. So, what's going on? Be the anti-hero. Our message begins simply enough. You can't be good at everything. In services, trying to do it all brilliantly will lead almost inevitably to mediocrity. Excellence requires sacrifice. To deliver great service on the dimensions that your customers value most, you must underperform on dimensions they value less. This means you must have the stomach to do some things badly. The concept can seem immoral at first blush. We recently did some work with a major healthcare provider. The CEO wasn't able to join us until the last couple of days. When he arrived, we reviewed what we'd covered, including the link between underperformance and excellence. The CEO immediately pushed back, saying, "I don't see anything we could afford to be bad at." He continued, revealing that he saw the idea of lowering the bar on any dimension as dishonorable, particularly in a field like healthcare. Hands immediately shot up around the room. His team disagreed, and after listening to their ideas for where trade-offs could be made, where resources could be shifted from areas low on the customer's priority list to areas customers cared more about, the CEO finally backed down. "I get it," he said. "That's how we can afford to be great." Charismatic leaders sometimes assume that they can avoid this trade-off by sheer force of personality. If they just get everybody fired up, the kinks will work themselves out. But you can't design a system that is based on the faith that all of your employees will perform heroically all day, every day, for an indefinite period. For a system to work, excellence must be normalized. And you don't get to that point by demanding extraordinary sacrifice. You get there by designing a model where the full spectrum of your employees, not just the outstanding ones, will have no choice but to deliver excellence as an everyday routine. You get there by building a system that just doesn't produce anything else. Heroism, in fact, can be a red flag. We know a service recovery expert who comes in early and stays late every day, picking up the slack and overcoming the obstacles in her company's service design. Whenever a client has had enough and is about to walk, she gets on the case and through her superhuman effort fixes everything. But as long as she's around, the company will never confront the serious problems they've created for themselves, the money they're leaving on the table, and the growth opportunities they're missing, to say nothing of the risk of assuming that this very special employee will stick around. Cynicism can build quickly among talented client-facing people when service problems are systematically tolerated. The cape starts to feel heavy when it's overused. Great service, it turns out, is not made possible by running the business harder and faster on the backs of a few extraordinary people. It's made possible, profitable,